Hey guys, I am back again with another 6x6 paper tutorial. You guys really liked the last one that I did. I'll link it down below if you missed it. Definitely check it out. Um, and so I kind of was looking through my old journals and, what can I do? What can I make? And I have this little booklet in one of my journals, and this one is larger. I made it with 12 by 12 paper, but I was like, I could do this with 6x6. And I am so excited. One, you can make it with 6x6 paper, and two, there's no waste. The only cutoffs there are these little corners from the tags, and this little corner right here. That's it. There's no other, there's no waste. I am so excited. So this is the little booklet. You're using 2 pieces of 6x6 paper, which makes it even more amazing that there's no waste. Like, these are the little corners. Hold on. Like, when I'm saying little corners, I mean like tiny little pieces. So this is the booklet. There's a pocket here, or a tuck here, a tiny little tuck there. You open it up. There is a large pocket here, a belly band here, a pocket here, and a tuck spot here, and then a tuck here, and a tuck here. How amazing is that? From 2 pieces of 6x6 paper. And you get 2 little tags out of it too. So this measures 6 across and 5 tall. So you're looking at a 3x5 finished little card product. And it's so cute. So let's get started. Let me set this stuff aside. I grabbed these 2 pieces of paper. I'm using a double-sided piece for the actual booklet part. That way when you open it up, you don't have a white background. You absolutely could use single-sided paper. It'd be really easy to coordinate your papers if you could get it out of the same paper pad. But I just grabbed this double-sided one, and then I found this single-sided piece that I thought matched really well. So let's start with our double-sided piece, or our cover piece. Let me grab my trimmer. Hope you guys can see that in frame. Okay, good. Perfect. So we are going to trim the little, tabby bit off. We don't need that. And I don't measure it to anything over here. I just trim that off. And then for our cover, we will cut this down to 5 inches. Save this piece. We're going to need it. We don't throw anything away in this project. And then, oh, I just dropped the little cutter part. Hold on. There we go. Look, it came right off. Then we are going to score this in half. So we will, it's 6 wide, so we'll score it at 3. And then we don't need this anymore. Grab my corner rounder. And then I think I want this to be the outside, so this will be the inside. I think that'll be pretty. So we will just fold this in half. Now we've got the base of our little booklet. I'm going to go ahead and round the corners. I like them rounded. I think it gives a little a nice finished look when they're rounded. So now we've got the base. Next, we are going to cut all of the pockets and tucks and such. So we'll need our single-sided piece of paper, or just your second piece. And grab our paper trimmer again. And I am going to cut this at 6 inches to get that little tab off. And I am cutting this specifically at 6 because the other pieces, they all come from this piece of paper. which is awesome. So step 1 is going to be cutting, and that was my dog. She's yelling at me. The first piece we're going to cut is this larger pocket strip, and that piece is 1.5 inches wide. So let's line this up at 1.5 and go up. And then it is 5 inches tall. So we will cut this down to 5 inches tall. Again, save this piece. This piece here is what we will use to make this cute little tag. So save that. Now we have our inner pocket. So we can sit that over here. It is cut. And now we have this piece of paper left. The next thing we are going to cut is going to be this large square pocket here. And dimensions on that are going to be 2.5 tall and 2 7/8 wide. So the first cut we're going to make is 2.5. So if your paper is oriented this way, we're going to cut it here at 2.5. So turn it, cut at 2.5. And I'm trying to be specific on the, like when you make the cuts, because it's important to get the most out of these papers. So we'll cut at 2.5 across. So now our paper is still oriented this way. And then it is 2 7/8 wide. And that just makes it so that when you glue it in, let me grab this one again. When you glue it in, you've got a little bit of space to close. It's not going to kind of bind up in that crease. So 2 7/8 wide. So there's that. Again, save this. This is what we use to make our larger tag. So save that. This is our pocket. And this pocket is actually going to go on the inside here. So I'm going to round this corner as well. Just like that. Sit that aside because that's ready to go. This final piece we are going to cut in half. This is what we will use for these larger diagonal pockets on the front and back. So it should be, should be 4.5 wide. So we are going to cut it at 2 1/4, which will put it right in half. So 2 1/4. So now we have two pieces that are 2 1/4 by 3.5. And that is what we are going to use for our diagonal little tuck spots. So for these, to get that angle, I went 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here and made a little mark. So this way. So I'm just using the lines on my cutter. So 1/2 inch here, and then we want it to come down this way. So I'm going to mark 1/2 inch up from here. We'll put that right here. And then I'll use my trimmer, just lining up the guide wire with those two marks. Like so. Save this because we're going to use that too. Don't get rid of anything. And there's our first pocket. Now be mindful when you're cutting these diagonals that you need one facing this way and the other one should be cut this way. So you're not going to cut them exactly the same. So I made that mistake when I was making my kind of demo piece. So don't do what I did and mess it up. So on this one, we're going to do the opposite. So I'm going to actually come in 1/2 inch from this side and mark that. And then 1/2 inch up on this side. Like so. And then cut using the guide the same way. Just kind of lining up the guide wire. And again, save that piece. We're going to use it. So now we have the base of everything. I mean, everything's ready to go, really. So we've got our base. We have our large pocket, our square pocket, and then our two diagonal pieces. Now we're going to go back to this strip that we cut off the top of our double-sided 6x6. It measures, it should be about an inch. If you trimmed it down, or if your paper was exactly 6 inches, then it should be exactly 1 inch. And we just need to cut this the height of our booklet. So it needs to be 5 inches. So we will cut that down to 5 inches. Again, save this little piece. We're going to use it. So now for our inside pocket, I know I have pieces everywhere, but it will come together, I promise. This will go here and be a pocket. And then this piece will go here and be our belly band. All right. Next up, we have these two pieces that we cut down. And there are a couple of options that you can do with these. So you can either, and if you have double-sided paper, then you might flip it over and use the other pattern. What I did on this one is I just laid this pink, this piece, this is what I cut off of here. So like it was like, where's my triangle? This was like this, right? And I cut it off and I just flipped it around and glued it here so I had a second tuck spot. You can do that and it'll look amazing. And the only thing is with this particular pattern, it's so dark. I'm not sure if inking the edges like I did on this pink one will give a big enough difference in shade or color so that you can see that it's a tuck, but I'm going to try it. The other option, which I also did on this one, on the inside, I used one here. So this little cutoff piece, I just stuck on here. I trimmed off this little corner up here, and it makes a second tuck on the inside, which I love. I think I'm going to do this one the exact same that I did here. So what I will do is keep one for this pocket, and I'll just trim off. I will just trim off this little corner at the top. So now I have this pocket ready to go right here. And then this one will be for the front. It'll go here. And then this one will be for the back. And then this will go right on the corner. You don't need to cut anything, just like this. And then I'll ink everything because I have to do that. So on the front, the only other thing we need to cut is this little square that we cut off is going to go right here. And I'm going to slice off this corner right here so that it looks like this piece. And I just eyeballed that. I just grabbed my scissors and eyeballed a little corner. And we'll do that. Like that. So I am going to go ahead and ink all of these pieces, and then we will come back and we will construct everything so you can see where all of these pieces that we just cut out, where all of it goes. So I will be right back. All right, so I got everything inked. I used ground espresso only because this paper is so dark and I really wanted it to be able to show. So that's what I used to ink around everything. We do still have these little cutoffs, which are going to make our little tags. And since they are so small, I'll just use my scissors to snip off little corners. That's even actually bigger than I would have wanted. So there's one. And then we'll do the same on this one. I think I might have done that pattern upside down. Oh well. I'm just going to take tiny little corners off. Like so. And grab my hole punch. And then for this little one, I'm actually going to use my Crop-A-Dog because I don't have a handheld, like, little hole punch. So I'm just using this big old thing. So now we've got those little holes. Let me ink those really quick. Sorry. I know that watching someone ink is like the most boring thing, but at least they're just tiny little tags, right? And not some huge project. All right. I'm gonna put my ink away now. All right. Now we can assemble. So we've got our booklet. We can start with the front. So the front, in all of our little pieces, we're going to take this piece and stick it right down here in the corner like this. So I am just going to glue this side here. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of at the bottom, aren't I? I don't want to get my head in it, though. That's the thing. Keep my head out of the way. Nobody wants to see my hair. All right, so we'll just run glue along. Oh my goodness, I can't hold my arm straight to save my life today. And stick this right down here in the corner. And you can use any glue you like. I've been using this Zig two-way glue lately for like really small stuff because it's so easy to manage. I really like it. And it holds really well too. If you apply it when it's wet, it holds really well. So the next piece will be this little corner here. So I'm just going to put glue along these two sides. And line it up with that bottom corner. Like so. So that is our front. And of course you can do a lot more embellishing. I just wanted to show you the kind of the basic construction of it, right? And then you guys can add all the frilly stuff. Now when we open up, we're going to do this side first. So we need our large pocket. And I'm just going to put glue on these three sides there. And this is just like a rollerball kind of pen, which makes placement really easy as far as the glue is concerned. So we will just line that up with the top and the bottom. Leave a little bit of space before your crease so that it doesn't kind of bind up when you're trying to close your little booklet. And if it's a little long, like this is a smidge long, you can just flip it over and trim it off. So there's that. And then on top of this, we're going to put our little belly band piece. And this one, we're just going to glue on the top and the bottom. So none of the sides get glued, just the top and the bottom. So you can stick stuff in there. It's such a thin piece that I thought if you put glue like along this side, it might be hard for stuff to stay in because it wouldn't be able to, go in very far. You know what I'm saying? So just the top and the bottom there. All right. So now we've got our little tuck here and our belly band there. Now for this side, we need that square little pocket, and we are going to put this one right down here in the corner on all three sides. So both sides and the bottom will get a little bead of glue. And just line that up. I leave like just a smidge border around it. You don't have to. I just did. And see, since we cut it a little short, it's not going to get into your fold there when you try to close this little booklet. All right. And there's that. And then on the front of this, we have this little cutoff piece. We'll go there. So I am just going to glue these two sides. like so, and line it up with the bottom corner of that pocket. And it should fit perfect because we, you know, trimmed it to the pocket earlier. So that goes there. All right, now for the back. We're almost done. So for the back, we have this, the other corner little tuck spot that we cut. So I'm just going to do two sides again, the bottom and this side here, and glue that down. I'm going to turn this over so I can see a little better. Right in the corner there. Again, I leave a little bit of a, I don't know, border maybe, I guess you could say. I don't put it right up to the corner. You could if you wanted to. I just didn't. Make sure that's down. And then we're going to take this last little piece and put it right on top, lining up that bottom corner like this. So again, I'm just going to put glue on two sides. And then line this up with that bottom corner and glue her down. Like so. Make sure it's all down and good. You can put this cap back on. And that is it, guys. How cute is this little booklet? And you get 2 tags out of it. Now, if you use double-sided, if you use 2 pieces of double-sided paper, you definitely could. Then you would have a little bit of play as far as differentiating your patterns, especially on these 2 pockets. Your tags would be double-sided as well. But if you do have just single-sided paper, you can always, you know, back these with book page or, you know, collage on them, or, you know, whatever you wanted to do. But you have all of these little tuck spots that you can stick all of these tags and goodies, and it's all from 2 6x6 pieces of paper. And look, we saved them all this time. Let me rake them off. This is all that's going in the trash. Do you see that? That's it. These tiny little bits. That's all the waste you're going to have from 2 pieces of paper. So I hope that you guys love these. I think they're adorable. I think they're a great way to use your 6x6 paper. I love that you get tags out of it and that there's no waste. So if you guys liked it, let me know. If you have any comments, leave them down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.